Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on 13 Plus. I'm Mary Coleman, joined by 13 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen to give us a rundown of what to expect in your weather before we get to some of our news for the day. Hey, Aaron.
Hi, Mary. Yeah, a couple of folks picked up a few sprinkles. I don't know if you had any rain at your house. I think
today.
All of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of rain last night, right around midnight or so. And I know some other folks have had more today.
Yes.
And we do have a chance still late tonight into tomorrow morning as well. So I thought we'd start everybody off by giving you a look at your radar and show you where we've got some of that rain right now. It's primarily right along the international border here in Santa Cruz County. So the area of low pressure is kind of straddling the international border right now. So we've got some of the rain that is moving into the Nogales area is headed to the north, and you can see a few lightning strikes associated with that. But you can notice how the rain is just kind of rotating around something. That something is that cold core low that has been bringing us that little bit of sprinkle activity here and there. So now between Loquil and the Nogales area, a few storms moving to the north. This even produced a cold core funnel cloud, as was reported by a weather spotter in and around Nogales. Those rarely ever make contact with the ground, so they don't usually turn into tornadoes, but you still want to stay weather aware, keep your eye out. But definitely, if you're hearing thunder, you need to stay indoors. And a few showers now moving to the south-southwest, crossing over from Arizona into northern Mexico on the opposite side of that low. Not seeing a whole lot of rain, though, really being realized from this area of low pressure. It is still going to bring us a slim little chance for rain tonight, 20% in Sassabee, into Nogales, Sierra Vista, in Benson, and then come tomorrow morning, I would say anytime up until 6 a.m. Tiny chance for rain in Sassabee and Green Valley at 10%, 20% for Nogales and Sierra Vista. But really looking at a mild weekend for the first full weekend of December. Tucson, our temps staying in the low 70s and mostly sunny skies. Sierra Vista, 62 for your Saturday, 67 Sunday, and you do carry that 20% chance tomorrow morning for a few spotty showers, Sierra Vista. Temperature-wise, elsewhere, upper 60s both days in Nogales. Douglas, low 60s tomorrow, upper 60s Sunday, mid to upper 60s in the Safford area. Casa Grande kind of hovering right around 70, and Ajo in the mid to upper 70s this weekend. If you're headed out to Casino del Sol for the 19th annual Tucson Tamal and Heritage Festival, first of all, stop by, say hi. I have
Are
the
you judging again?
I'm judging again.
Aaron,
yeah, it took me a year to work off all the calories from all of the tamales that I ate. So stop by, see how I've done. Clear skies, though, so wear that sunscreen. 58 degrees at the start at 10 a.m., 69 by 1, and then at 4 o'clock, 71. And you can see some snow tomorrow night at La Encantada. They're faux flakes, but they are beautiful. I've been up there for that enchanted snowfall, and it really is something to see. The first snow show begins at 6, mostly clear, 65. The second one starts at 6:45, so we're expecting temps to have dropped off to the low 60s by then, and some live performances going on. Flowing Wells, Ventana Vista Elementary School, and St. Michael's Middle School choirs are all going to be out there. That is going to be spectacular. Your 13 First Alert 7-day forecast. There's that big dip in temps coming with that next storm system. Tucson could have its first freeze of the season by Wednesday morning. So dust off those frost claws this weekend. You'll probably need them early next work week.
Noted. Thank you very much, Aaron.
You're welcome.
And be sure to join us for 13 News Live at 10 if you want your most up-to-date forecast and some of your news headlines. But as promised, let's jump right into our story for this evening. Well, statutes of limitations are put in place to protect people from unfair legal action after a certain amount of time has passed. But it's believed by Tucson police detectives and victims we spoke with that no matter how many years have gone by, a crime as serious as rape should be brought before a jury. In part 3 of our series this evening, we have more on the background of the statute at play and whether something can be done.
He changed our lives forever and he threatened to kill us with a deadly weapon. We were very close to death.
Their innocence stolen in a matter of minutes. The pain of knowing their rapist is on the loose has lasted for years.
You can forget for a minute and you're doing something normal and you're okay, but your physical body has like this weird emotion, like you hear a noise or just something and it's a trigger and you're just instantly scared.
Two women spoke with 13 News, both victims of what police say was a serial rapist near the U of A campus in the late 80s and early 90s. There were no suspects then, but a recent grant allowed special DNA testing, and that testing brought law enforcement a hit. The same person suspected in 3 cases. The women say detectives notified them that a former firefighter for departments across southern Arizona is the man whose DNA was linked to the attacks. Detectives also tell them he may never face justice.
These cases are particularly frustrating as we're doing the in-person notification with them, and not only are we giving them the identity of the person that assaulted them, but at the same time we're telling them that unfortunately we can't make an arrest.
Frustration and anger from those who fight for justice every day, all due to a statute of limitations in place for violent sexual assaults, requiring prosecution within 7 years from when the crime was reported. It's a statute that was in place from 1973 through July of 1990.
And I don't know what the thought process was for having a statute of limitations on sexual assault back in the 90s. There currently is no statute of limitations for sexual assault. There is no statute of limitations for homicide. For violent sexual assaults that occurred before DNA testing was a thing, I don't understand why those statute of limitations exist.
The worst part for these victims is just months after their attacks, that statute was changed, pausing the 7-year clock until the identity of the person who committed the offense was known. In 1994, it was changed again, eliminating the statute of limitations on sexual assault or attempted sexual assault. Crimes that occurred prior to that change are not included.
If they can prosecute cold cases for murder, why not for rape? If they can't for rape, what is that saying? What is that saying? Because 99% of rapes are women. And what is that saying of valuing women? I'm sorry, but rape is equal to murder because he murdered parts of our souls.
I asked the women what they would say to prosecutors and those who may be able to change these rules.
I mean, it's just so simple. It's just, do you have a daughter? Do you have a wife? Do you have a mother? And it could be your son, that this could happen to. And could you look them in the face and say, oh, if it was just 7 months later, or if it was just a year later, this would all be different. It's just not logical. Just help us, help other people, and keep people safe.
Detectives have put their blood, sweat, and tears into these cases, sifting through all they can to find anything that may help move the case forward. I spoke with Pima County Attorney Laura Conover, who tells me her office is all systems go with an open file in these cases to see what can be done, if anything. She does not want the victims to think justice will not be served, but patience is wearing thin for everyone involved.
I would love for there to be change that allows us to go back and hold these people responsible. The victims have held on to this and they relive it probably every day of their lives. When we go and notify them, they know what we're there to talk about. They don't forget. If we can go back and hold these people responsible, I think it would be wonderful.
He's a serial rapist. What else has he done?
Well, detectives want any victims to come forward, no matter how long it has been. They do not want you to be discouraged by this story. They say they will stop at nothing to ensure justice is served. If you've missed any of our 3-part series, we encourage you to go to KOLD.com to check those out so you can keep up with what exactly went on in this scenario. We really quickly want to give you a live look from our Mount Bigelow camp, but we also want to give a shout out to Micah Mountain, Southern Arizona's own, as they have just won a Class 4A state title. Very exciting for all of them. We will have your coverage of that coming up on 13 News live at 10. But again, just want to give them a big congratulations. We hope you're having a great evening. And again, we'll join us for 13 News live at 10 for more of your news and weather. Until then, have a great night.